Okay, so I'm going to go through a Gig Salad quote. Now, once you log in, you can find the login in your logins document. And I'll give you a quick little what it looks like when you log into Gig Salad. It looks like this. You'd have to plug in the email and then the password. Which, like I said, it's in Google Documents under Logins. Under AMA Important Documents is the folder it lives in. You get into here. Now, usually there's like a little red circle when there's a new lead that came in. If you don't see this kind of menu right away, you'll see this is actually the inbox. You can see this menu here, Dashboard, Inbox, Edit, the Kit, Tools, Account, Help. Or right here, you can just click on this icon. That makes it appear. And the dashboard, you always want to go to Inbox. Inbox is where all the leads live. And I know this one's new, it's from 3 hours ago. And you can see there's no message placed yet. That means I haven't touched it and put a message in yet. So you can go ahead and see what kind of message we can send this person. First thing we're going to look at is what they want. It's a children's birthday party. And it's for February 3rd. That's good. Location. And what they're looking for, children's party magician. So I know I need to find a magician, and hopefully somewhere near Mays Landing, New Jersey. Now I'm going to ask you to make two options. You're going to check to see if I'm available, Michael, and because I do the magic. And that was for February 3rd, so I'm going to go to February. This is just the Google Calendar. If you need to access that, I know all the Google apps are over here. There's Calendar. I want to go to February, though. Let's move to February. Next month. There we go. February 3rd. What's going on? Nothing. Okay. That looks pretty wide open. If you want to see more at a distance, instead of the day view, you can go over to like the month view. I kind of like that view because you can see more at a distance. Okay, this is completely blank here. February 3rd is blank. The month view under Google Calendar. So I know I am available. So I can send them my information. That's why I'm going to go to the bio for entertainers. So we've already gone to A1. A1's the beginning spot, which you want to see who's available. Like, for example, you'll see under A1, magicians in Philadelphia, South Jersey. And if you're not sure where a location is, if you're not that familiar yet, you want to go to Mays Landing, New Jersey. Just copy that. You can show the map here, but I like Google Maps. So again, I can go here. You just type in maps.google.com. It'll go right into the map. Then you just right-click and paste in the name of the town. Hit enter. And sometimes have more than one name. As long as it has that name that you know it by, you'll know you're in the right area. And I'm familiar with the area, so I know this looks about right. Directions. Now, in general, you always want to try Sicklerville, New Jersey. That's where myself and Lana are based out of, as the first location to see if it's local. Well, you want to check the calendar first. It's good to check the Google Calendar first to see if we're available. If we're not available, it doesn't matter how local we are if we're not available, right? So you check the calendar first. Then you're going to go into Google. If you find out we are available, you plug in Sicklerville. Okay, it's only about 28 minutes. That's about half an hour. That's good. That's close. It's very local. And then we're going to go over here. So I know it's for myself. It's for a magician. I know it's local. It's half an hour away. The time they want is 1 to 2. I looked at the calendar. It's 30 kids. That's a good size group. Most of the parties that book for a magician are about 20 kids. If it's less than that, it's kind of like they may not see the value in booking what I do for a small number of kids. 30 kids is a great number. So there's a good chance this could be a good lead. So I'm going to click down here to send a message. Now there's all these other options about sending a quote. You have to give a dollar amount right away. And I think that can be a little bit too much for somebody. It's almost like asking them to kind of buy something before they even know what it is. You just walk into a store and they're like, hey, buy this thing. You want to give people time to look around, kind of, check out the merchandise. So that's why I just send them a message. And so once I know that I'm available, I've checked the calendar. That's when you go to bio for entertainers. That's when you go to that bio thingy. Bio for entertainers. Right there. Oh, we're inside there. It's a big folder. There we go. So right at the top it shows you Assistant Handbook, Important Docs, Bio for Entertainers. It's all right there. You'll see all the different entertainers. You can just type the name in at the top search bar here. It'll search inside this folder. So you want me, so that's Michael. And it says Michael Birthday Magic Quote. That's good. Now make sure, this is very important, the name on the quote matches the type of event. If you go back to the type of event in Gig Salad, it says this is a children's birthday party. So that matches. Children's birthday party, Michael's Birthday Magic Quote. And you'll see a thing up here too. If it happens to be adults or teens, this is my more corporate company thing. It shows me entertaining adults. We don't need that if it's just a kid's party. That's why I left kind of the red in between. It's only for adults. So if it's not for adults, you just copy what's here below. A little about me, reviews are in. And you'll see it mentions travel included up to 1 hour from Sicklerville, New Jersey. For that rate, they can add the basic balloons on. And just copy everything pretty much down to the very bottom. You don't need to copy so much the signature because you're not me. If this was you sending it out. Boop. But I will say this is always important. At the bottom, do make sure there's somewhere where the phone number is added. So for yourself, you might write something like, office assistant with Amazing Moments Agency. And you'd spell things correctly. But it's always good to put the phone number at the bottom, because I know one time I had a client that could not find my phone number in Gig Salad. It wasn't clear where to find the number to call me, so I always make sure I put it right at the bottom in the message body. Put the contact phone number. So it's got everything in there. And read over this. Make sure you read over this. Also, it's good to kind of familiarize yourself with what I do on my show. So if the client happens to call up and ask about booking the show or they have a question, you might know a little bit about my show, as well as referring them to me to talk more in depth about it. And make sure it makes sense with what they're doing. So there's not really any information here. Sometimes they give little notes about what they want. There's really no notes here, just says the number of kids and they want a magician and the time frame and the day. And it says date flexible. So you can just pretty much have what's in here. What you would do, the next step you would do is you'd want to copy all this stuff, all this good stuff here, and just present it, copy it, present it in our messaging center. There's going to be a little way to do a messaging, or it could even be in a Google document. Google documents are fantastic because if you click the little menu here on the left, it brings the whole dot. You want docs. We're doing a Google Docs, and it lets you do like a new one because it lets other people see in real time what you're editing, as long as it lives inside that folder that we're both sharing. So right now, this may not be. This is only in my drive. So you'd have to make sure it's in that folder, that handbook that we're both sharing. So you'd want to go down here to the handbook, make sure it lives inside of there, move it into there. And you can just title it something with maybe, it could be like, approve. I think this one's for February 2nd, so it's for like 2223, I think. 18 GS lead. So I know there's a new lead to approve that you put the quote together for. Or maybe write approve quote so I can just search for the word quote and find it in the handbook. And you just make sure this is all correct. You can put a little link to the actual event here. Just copy this link right here, copy that, and then plug it right on the top here. So I can go and see the full information. If the client did happen to give any detailed information, I'd make sure it matches up with the quote. You'd send me a notice. You could text me to say, hey, Mike, go approve this thing for February 3rd. I would read over it, say, yep, that looks like that makes sense, and then send you back, yep, send it off to the client. Then you'd go back into Gig Salad, and you would hit send. Now it's out into the world. It's going out to the client. Tells them what I do, tells them the rate. And there's a whole lot of information in here. I'll be honest, a lot of times people can be overwhelmed by all the information I send them because I like to be really detailed and give them as much information as possible. It's always great if you can call the person or email them directly. Now, Gig Salad, you can see right over here, it says phone number not provided by client. Other times it'll say phone number revealed when you submit a message or when you reply. But in this case, there's no phone number, there's no direct email, so all we can do is just let this sit in here. And then you want to copy this link again, copy, go in back into our Google system here. Click on the main menu. And there's a document called Leads to Follow, which is where we're going to put all the information for the new leads that come in. So I'm just going to go down here. Follow. So right now this is cold. And make sure there's a status at the top of Leads to Follow that tells you what where we're at in the kind of sales process with each client. So this is important. We really would like to talk on the phone to somebody to pre-qualify them, see if we can set up an appointment with myself so I can talk in depth about their party and what they want, what they're kind of stuck on that may be stopping them from booking. But these are the statuses. These are really important. All these different little status things here. Cold is just no reply back yet. We just sent a quote out, waiting to hear back. Warm is we got a message back. They're interested, but they want more information. They're not ready to book. In the works means the lead wants to book, but they need more details to get the booking form, get the deposit paid, but they're ready to book. And deal form is we've actually received one of those things back. Either we got all the information we sent them, and so we're or we got a deposit. And they become a client, of course, when they have our deposit paid. And no-go is just how we mark it if they went with someone else or they canceled or whatever. We find out they're not interested in booking with us. We mark it no-go so we know not to follow up. So that's important to give it a status. So when I go down here, I'm going to give it a status of cold because we haven't talked to anybody yet. Just dropped out a quote. I need the date of the event because obviously if the event date passes, it's no longer viable to keep contacting them. This is sort of February 3rd. So I'm going to mark that. February 3rd, that's 2/3/18. Client's name is Mandy. And we're going to put the link. It's a Gig Salad. So I just put GS for Gig Salad. And then I'm going to paste that link in there. There's that link. And what actions I did. Just, gave quote in GS. And it's important to note that because, like I said, if there's the ability to write a direct email to the person, we always want to make a direct email as well. But that is basically how to quote in Gig Salad. And note it in the Leads to Follow.